Hi guys, welcome to the Board Sailor. I'm your host Avi, and in today's video, I have a question for you. Are all Trump supporters racist? So in this video, I wanted to talk about racism. With what seems like history repeating itself, a very sad and unfortunate incident in Minnesota ending in the life of George Floyd, to a man in Central Park being threatened racially by another person, to a grandmother and a grandson being badly treated in Missouri. We see three different types of results of racism here. One was a verbal assault and threat, one resulted in physical injuries, and the last ended up with a man losing his life. The key difference being that the incident with the verbal assault, the Central Park one, involved a civilian on both sides, while the other two had cops involved. Does that mean that if there was a cop or an authoritative figure in that situation, it would have ended up with the worst result? What if there was a cop passing by? What if there was a cop nearby responding to the biased reporting of the individual? Would the situation be worse? We wouldn't know for sure. And I'm glad that we don't, because with everything happening, it would be difficult to say. But with the horrible happening, one thing that seems to make it worse is the idea that all this is because President Trump is in office, or the notion that anyone who is white and is a racist is a Trump supporter. Now, you'd be surprised to know that the lady caught in the whole Central Park incident is a Democrat. New York is a blue state, and she is registered for the Liberal Party. Now the question arises, can liberals be racist? Absolutely. Racism, like any other disease, does not depend on party lines or who is living in the White House. Think about in the terms of COVID-19. If a person is showing symptoms, they go to the hospital and get the necessary treatment or confine themselves in self-isolation. It's easier to recognize those with symptoms. But the biggest threat to containing COVID is those folks who are asymptomatic, those who have the coronavirus but show no symptoms and are carriers of the virus. These are folks that are hard to identify and separate. Similarly, people such as the liberals or those who might be in a multicultural company or be very educated, living in blue states, who have that bone of racism, like the person in the Central Park incident, are the ones we need to watch out for. Those are the ones who, as long as have those racist biases and discrimination, racism will also survive. When we try to call out those who ooze racism and think that if we punish them or educate them, then we are on the path to eradicating racism. But trust me, as long as you have those silent, not so apparent racists, the asymptomatic ones, racism, like the coronavirus, will exist. It will not matter if the person is a MAGA supporter. It doesn't matter how poor or rich the person is, or how literate or illiterate the person is. So how can we reach out to the asymptomatic ones and change their perception, their minds, especially when they can be detected? Just like the idea that we need COVID testing for everyone and not just single tests, but a test where each and every person gets tested multiple times, we need to keep raising our voices and spread the awareness when it comes to racism. Our voices, our dialogues, our conversation is like the COVID testing. The more we do it and the more frequently we do it, the more people we can reach out to and the more effective it's going to be. Concentrating on a certain population or a certain area may fix that area, but the idea of racism might migrate to another state and peak over there. What do you guys think? what is the best way to eradicate racism? That's it for today's video, guys. I promise to make more fun, lighthearted content. Every time I tell myself I'm going to make one and start planning for one, I come across something that throws everything out the window. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, a little kid is going to kick you in the shin when you least expect it, and trust me, that hurts. This is the Bored Sailor, signing off.